These are players who, after the update, neither increased nor decreased in overall rating, but still had their stats modified, making them either overpowered or ruined. That's right, guys, we have a huge list of these players after the winter update. We start with Theo Hernandez, who kept his 83 rating, but when analyzing his stats, he received -1 speed -3, acceleration +1 stamina, -1 strength, +1 passing, +1 shooting, +1 tackling. This results in an overall -1 balance in total stats. However, looking closely at his card, the -4 drop in speed and acceleration slightly ruins him as a fullback. Next, we have Trent Alexander-Arnold, who still has an 83 rating but received +2 speed, +1 acceleration, -2, strength -1 shooting, +2 tackling, an amazing buff for Trent, with a final +2 balance in total stats. Now with 82 speed, he is much more usable in his position, plus his acceleration and tackling have improved significantly. Next up is Grimaldo, a left wingback, who also remains at 83 rating but suffered some nerfs. -3 speed, huge downgrade, +1 stamina, +1 ball control, +1 passing, 1 shooting, 5 tackling, a devastating nerf. His final stat balance is -6, making it one of the most ruined cards in this update. Moving on to Pedri, who many expected to get a rating upgrade, but he stays at 83. His stat changes are -2 speed, +1 acceleration, +1 stamina, +1 ball control, +1 passing, +1 tackling. This gives him a +3 balance, making his card much more complete. Hopefully we'll see Pedri at 84 or 85 soon. Next, Kevin De Bruyne remains at 86 rating with the following changes: -2, acceleration -1, passing -1, shooting +3. Tackling, his final balance is -1. But this card is actually buffed since his tackling can now reach 80+ when improved, making him a more well-rounded player. Next up, Mateo Kovacic, who stays at 79 rating but received massive stat changes: -2 speed, unfortunate, +6 stamina, -1 ball control, -1 passing, +5 shooting, insane boost, +1 tackling with a final balance of +6. This is an incredible buff, making him more balanced overall. Now let's talk about Ederson, the goalkeeper, who remains at 83 rating but was affected by -1, speed -3, acceleration +1 reflexes, very important for a goalkeeper, -1 strength, a final balance of -4, and the speed nerf hurts, as it was one of his key strengths. Next, we have Erling Haaland, who got heavily nerfed. His changes include +1, speed -1, acceleration -1, stamina -1, ball control -2, passing -1, shooting, a final balance of -6, meaning he was completely nerfed in technical stats. Now let's talk about Mohamed Salah, who remains at 86 rating with +1, stamina +1, passing +1, shooting -2, tackling, but that doesn't matter much for a winger, a final balance of +1, making him slightly buffed due to better passing and shooting. Next up, Rodri, who only lost -2 stamina, giving him a -2 balance, but this might slightly affect him when upgraded. Now, let's take a quick break, because even though this video is about players who didn't change their overall rating, we need to talk about Kiwior. He dropped by 1 overall point, but let's look at his stats. -6 speed, a massive downgrade. -1, acceleration -2, stamina -1, strength 1, ball control 2, passing 1, shooting 3, tackling, a total balance of -17, making him one of the most ruined cards ever. Even though he only dropped 1 overall rating, this is a disaster. Next, Vinicius Jr., who remains at 86 rating, but +1 acceleration, the first player to reach 95 acceleration, -1 strength, -1 shooting, a final balance of -1, which isn't a big difference but still noticeable. Next, Antonio Rudiger, who remains at 84 rating with -1 acceleration, -1 stamina, +1 ball control, +1 tackling, a solid buff for a center back. Now Harry Kane, who -2 acceleration +1 ball control, a small adjustment that slightly affects his physicality, but nothing major. Next, Jude Bellingham, who remains at 85 rating with +1 acceleration, -1 speed. A balanced card overall, still an amazing player. Finally, Danny Carvajal, who had -2 stamina A, final balance of -2, which only affects physical improvements. There are many more players to analyze. Some were buffed, while others were ruined, even though their overall rating stayed the same. If this video reaches 500 likes, I will upload part 2 with even more player analyses. Leave a comment with any other players you noticed and I'll check them out. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.